I just heard my future mother-in-law call me stupid in front of the whole family, and they all laughed and agreed. Now I'm thinking it's a bad idea to get married. Posted by you/Imirni 2025. I always thought that his family liked me because we got along well. I was really excited to have them all as my in-laws because they were always kind to me. I saw some important information about a year ago when I was scrolling on Instagram. I came across a profile that was a bit cringy, but in a cute way. It was an older woman's profile that shared inspirational quotes. I remember one particular post, which was something along the lines of "Only stupid people pretend to know everything. Don't pretend, just ask." Honestly, this quote changed me in many ways. Before that, I was always worried that I might embarrass myself if I didn't know something. After reading that quote, I realized that if I always pretend to know everything, I'll miss out on actually learning about things. So I decided to change my habits and start admitting that sometimes I must admit that I'm not really up to speed with what's going on in Kosovo. I'd be happy to find out more, but first I'd like to ask a few questions so that I can gain a better understanding of the situation. I tend to ask a lot of questions, and I often find myself writing down questions in my notes app that I want to find answers to later. These are my latest. I thought it might be helpful to share a bit about myself. I know I can come across as annoying sometimes, but I hope you'll understand. Here's the situation. His parents hosted a small barbecue last weekend, just for the family. There were his mom, 54, his dad, 59, his brothers, 26 and 29, and their wives, both 27. I was the last to arrive. Because I had to work late. As I entered the house and walked towards the backyard, I heard John's mum talking about me. To be honest, she wasn't just talking about me, she was mocking me. I heard her say in a high-pitched voice, "How does the sun work? Where should I put the fork? Why is nobody like me? How do I wipe my behind?" I just stood there feeling a sinking sensation. I couldn't move, so I just stood there. I heard them all laughing. One of the wives said, "I actually don't mind her always asking questions. I think it's cute." This made me feel hopeful that they would. "Mike, yeah, sure. We're just playing." We love that, but none of them did. Instead, the mom replied, "It's not cute. She's just stupid." After that, they laughed again. I heard John laughing too. My heart kind of broke at that moment because he didn't say one positive thing. He didn't offend. I just turned around and left. I texted John to say I was sick and had to stay home. I'm not sure how to handle this. We live together and I'm currently sleeping in the guest bedroom. I'm using the excuse that I don't want him to get sick from being I can't ignore him forever and I can't pretend to be sick anymore because it's been too long. I'm not sure how to proceed. Maybe it was just a misunderstanding. I'm considering talking to them about this, but I'm also worried that they won't be honest with me. I can't marry him if he really thinks I'm stupid. But I also can't marry into a family that thinks so little of me. Maybe it was a joke and I shouldn't take it so seriously. I'm so torn apart. Every day I convince myself a bit more that it's okay. And that sometimes we should all laugh at ourselves. Now I'm starting to feel a bit crazy, so I'd really appreciate some advice. Firstly, I'd like to thank the people who responded to my questions about black holes, snails, ducks, light bulbs and other stuff. I'd love to have you as my friends. I don't mind if you think I'm annoying or difficult to be around. I'm not here to please everyone. I'm just here to have a good time, pursue my own interests and learn. I didn't expect my post to gain so much attention, but I'm grateful for the advice. Most of you advised me to end the relationship and at the very least, confront him. So, I did just that. You gave me the confidence to do it. Before I did that, I texted the wife of John's brother, the one who said she liked me asking questions. I asked if we could meet up for coffee. She said sure, so we met up and I told her I'd heard their conversation. After some small talk, I just said, I heard you all talking about me during the barbecue. She got sad and said she felt embarrassed. She explained that it wasn't a joke. Out of context, it came across as mean and hurtful. She said she's sorry for not defending me more, but I told her it's okay and I understand. I said I don't blame her for anything and that I just wanted to make sure I understood the situation and thought about what it really was. It was clear that he was laughing at me behind my back. It felt like bullying. I decided to confront John in my last post because so many comments were saying that he would probably try to gaslight me. You were right. We were having dinner together for the first time since the barbecue happened. Before, I tried my best to avoid him. I know it wasn't mature of me, but other than you guys, I don't really have a strong support system. My family and best friends are hundreds of kilometers away, and I only have 2 good friends here. I was so stressed I thought I was going to pass out. My legs were shaking and I was terrified because I knew deep down that this was the moment when my 5-year relationship would go down the drain. I looked him in the eyes and asked how the sun works. He looked confused, so I followed with where should I put my fork and why does nobody like me? He had a realization and started laughing nervously. I said I was there and I heard them. After the initial shock, he got mad and said it was rude to eavesdrop. I said it was rude to bully people. He tried telling me that it was just a joke, that I shouldn't be so uptight, and that I said it was really funny, but I didn't find it funny. I went to the guest room to calm down. He started panicking and asked me to please talk to him. He was much more apologetic and said that he would be 100% honest with me. I asked if his mother had made similar comments before. Barbecue. I asked him if he ever defended me. He said he tries to, but I don't know if I believe him. He told me he loves me and respects me, but I don't know if I believe that either. I said that I love him too, but I need a break. He's all I've ever known. He was my first and only partner. I don't have an outside perspective on this. I don't have experience. I need a moment to think. I'm going to my friend's house for a while to think everything through. The apartment has his name on the lease anyway. After I gathered some of my things and left, he kept texting me non-stop. He tried calling, but I didn't respond. I was hurt because he tried to belittle my feelings. He only started apologizing later, when he realized that I might break up with him. The next day, I decided to give him another chance to explain himself. I came back to the apartment, and he said he'd told his mother I'd overheard them. I said I didn't care. He needed to show me he cared. I wasn't interested in an apology from his mother. I'm done with her. I can't put up with this behavior. He was mocking me like we're in primary school. I saw a comment saying that her ego is probably hurting. I think there's some truth to that. She never got the chance or never had the desire to get an education. She's a very good homemaker, but outside of that, she doesn't have many interests of her own. If I ask her about making tomato soup, she will. She spent 30 minutes lecturing me about adding the right amount of sugar to a recipe. She'll talk at length about anything, but she gets defensive and tries to imply that nobody cares about a topic she doesn't know much about. It shouldn't be discussed. He tried telling me to relax because it was only a joke. I had enough at this point. I took off my ring and told him that his behavior is unacceptable. I can't be the punchline. I told him that I wish him and his family the best and to look in the mirror to check if they really are as superior as they think they are. I told him I'd be back with my friend to pick up the rest of my stuff and that he shouldn't contact me again unless it was about moving my things out. That's it. I'm done. Thanks for the advice. I wouldn't have had the confidence to leave without you. I've had the confidence to leave this man. I know I deserve better. I can't be with someone who can't stand up for me. I wouldn't be able to feel comfortable around his family, so I'm done with the relationship. I hope they treat his next girlfriend better. Thanks again. I read it for the advice.